So I just wanted to make a quick video recapping some of the stuff Bethesda went over at their E3 press conference. It was at a really weird time, and frankly, I don't think it's worth watching the 40 minutes of it because I think a lot of people left disappointed. Regardless, in this video, I'm going to focus mostly on Bethesda the developer, not so much on the publisher. I'll mention all the games that were announced, but I won't talk too much in depth about them because I'm not as well informed on those topics. So things were kicked off with VR. We got one new game and one game we already knew about. The first one was Doom VFR. It was never really clear what the F stands for. I kind of just assume it stands for V-fucking-R, but regardless, it's Doom in VR. You get the idea. It is going to be released in 2017, but no specific date given. Then we moved on to Fallout 4 VR. This is something we saw a lot of. It's something I've covered in the past on my channel. We got some actual gameplay just of the person doing some different things, from settlement mode to shooting to just some general questing. I think it gave you a really good idea of what you can expect when playing this game, and personally, I think the gunplay looked absolutely wonky, and I hesitate to use the word shit, but yeah, like shit. Maybe I'm being overcritical, but I did a live stream and a lot of people did seem to agree with me. Maybe it's something you'll get used to, maybe it's something that you won't, but regardless, those are my impressions. It looked pretty cool, like it'd be a lot of fun, but not a lot of fun to watch. Then we moved over to Skyrim for the Nintendo Switch. We knew this was coming. They showed us some gameplay. It's just the regular old Skyrim, except at a lower FPS and lower resolution. There's really nothing new here. I don't know why they put time into this, but regardless, one thing still up in the air and not made totally clear anywhere is whether or not this will have mod support. I think that will or will not be a major selling point, and again, it wasn't made clear in this conference, and some of the other posts about this have been very vague from Bethesda, so only time will tell. Then they did reveal, as many did expect, a new DLC for Dishonored 2. I've never played the game, I don't know much about the game. The trailer is pretty cool though, and all around the reception seems to be pretty positive. So this one was really bad. Next they showed the Elder Scrolls Legends Heroes of Skyrim trailer. So it's basically a new card game from what I understand. The trailer had very few details. It showed very little content about whether this is going to be a game or an expansion to an existing game. All around it seemed like it was jumping on the card game bandwagon that we're seeing a lot of other companies do, and maybe it'll turn out to be really cool, but for now, until we get more details, I think I would just overlook this one. So then pretty much the controversial thing that came out of this is Creation Club for Fallout 4 and Skyrim Special Edition. I didn't make a full video on this topic that should be out at the time of recording this. Put simply, what this is a new take on a paid model to different mods made by community members. It's not that simple, there's a lot more to it. Basically, Bethesda is allowing different mod authors to apply to this program. Once you apply, you'll work directly with Bethesda and have very well made and polished mods that release in cycles and work with the game regardless of updates or anything like that. Again, Bethesda is going to work side by side with you, so everything is curated and they're ensuring that it's not going to be half-assed. Even a little bit beyond that, everything for this has to be built from the ground up. You can't take an old mod that you uploaded to Bethesda.net or the Nexus and re-upload it and apply it to this program. Bethesda really doesn't want to call it paid mods, and I don't think it's fair to classify it with the old variant of paid mods. I would say it's more like a paid mods 2.0. They looked at a lot of the criticisms and tried to improve on them, and I definitely think this has potential to be very cool, but I think only time will tell whether or not it is very cool. From what I've seen right now, it definitely doesn't look all that promising, but again, time will tell. The way you're going to be able to buy these is you buy credits, and then each mod does cost various credits. We don't know the pricing or anything like that, and the one other major implication of this is custom content for PS4 users. Right now, mods for PS4 can't have custom content like outside textures or sounds or anything like that, but obviously with this, that is going to be available. Then we also find out it is going to be released this summer. They don't give any specific release date, just summer 2017, which starts June 21st, so at least a few weeks away, but realistically probably a bit more. So then The Evil Within 2 was announced, did get a new trailer and a release date. So this is going to be October 13th. It definitely looked very promising. It looks like a very cool game, even from someone that wasn't a fan of the previous iteration of the series. I know a lot of people are anticipating this one, although at least as of right now, no PC release has been confirmed. Then moving on, we did get Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. This seemed like a really cool game. I think this was really the highlight of the presentation. Definitely take some time, watch the trailer. It's a little bit longer, but there's actually a lot of comedy in it, which I felt like more so than the original Wolfenstein. With all that being said, the game looked amazing. The graphics were definitely on point with this one. I do hope it actually is that way when the game does get released. Obviously, it might be suffering from E3 syndrome, but all around looking very cool and coming out October 27th. So then last but not least, we do have Quake Champions and basically a huge esport focus. This is another one where it seems more so like they're jumping on the bandwagon than anything else. More or less, Quake Champions is going to have a huge esport focus as well as a big tournament. It seems pretty cool if you're into that kind of thing, but they didn't show all that much gameplay. They did show some gameplay, but they also didn't really show too much about like a tournament view. I know one of the main drawbacks about Overwatch esports is it's not that fun to watch. watch. Counter-Strike Go and League of Legends really got that part down, and that's what makes those games so enjoyable. I would really have loved to see more about this with Quake Champions to really show whether it's going to be a competitive and relevant esport. Regardless, that was more or less everything at the Bethesda E3 conference. I personally left being pretty disappointed. I expected a lot more from this. I was hoping for some big announcement from Bethesda Game Studios, that being the developer of Fallout 4 and the Elder Scrolls series, but it doesn't really seem like we got much of that. I think a lot of the stuff did fall pretty flat, and I know definitely I was live streaming and had a chat going with me. A lot of people are just pretty disappointed. Maybe my expectations were too high and a bit unrealistic. We'll still get more news over the next few days as E3 does continue with game demos and stuff like that, but I think pretty much everything we were going to find out, we did find out. Hopefully you found this informative. Again, I'll have links to pretty much everything down below so you can check it out, but I'll see you guys all next time. Later.